Welcome to the Young and Free Podcast, a platform for young people to express themselves on issues concerning their daily lives and finding real life solutions. Here we listen, we don't judge. It's real life stories, real life solutions. Hosted by me, Zipporah Nyambura Oboke, and
Contessa Lydia, your girl.
Lovely. Last time we tackled addictions. If you did not watch that episode, please, before you watch this one, go back and check on that one. You will love it. So today we are going to be continuing with addictions, and on set with me, I have Dickson and Aaron, who are going to be sharing with us their stories on how they were able to successfully overcome addictions and how the journey went and how successful the story was. So welcome to this episode. We're going to start with Dickson. He's going to introduce himself. Dickson, please feel free to introduce yourself and then take us through your journey.
I'm Dickson Bonye. I'm doing a Bachelor's of Science in Civil Environment Engineering at UCU Mukono campus. And where to start? Addiction for me didn't start as addiction. I started drinking and smoking. I started drinking when I was in high school. Like most people start drinking, it was with friends. It was with company that we thought were friends, and it was for purpose of bonding and the illusion of brotherhood. I started in senior 5 when I was at Chitenda, and it was mostly for fun, curiosity, getting friends and bonding. But then it wasn't. It wasn't in my senior 6. My exams were bad. My results were bad. And I had to go to Boshenyi for my diploma. Meanwhile, this was, I believe it was a punishment. I can call it a punishment because I have grown up all my life in Kampala. I was born this side. I was raised this side. So going that side was new to me. New environment, new people, new cultures, and all these things. So I started smoking there as well. Now, this was the first time I was smoking, and for most of the things that we use, it's the alcohol tastes bad when you first test it. The smoking chokes you when you first smoke, but you continue because of the company that we keep. And I continued to smoke and drink, of course, because of the company I was keeping. And of course, with more of this, I wasn't prioritizing what took me there, which was school. I had poor grades, and the course that was supposed to be done for 2 years, I did it for 3 years. But then, all this time, my parents didn't know about it. They knew addiction was just being stubborn and wasn't doing what it's supposed to do. And it went on to the time I started working with my dad. I was privileged. I'm lucky that he's in the same field that I was studying, which is civil engineering. So I was working with him, and he was giving me a payment every end of the month. But then accommodation and food is paid for. So that money that I'm given is basically what I save. But I was drinking almost all of it. I reached the point where he asked me, Dickson, where's the money I give you? Because you still come back home for clothes, you still come back for phone, you still come back for all these things. And I played around like old. They say most addicts are very smart. Huh? The lies are the tip of the tongue. But yeah, I lied to him, and the lies kept piling up. I started my degree at UCU. And yeah, it was a fresh start for me. It was good. I was excited. But then at the back of my mind, I felt I had to catch up with life. Like, I felt my friends had left me by a gap. They'd enjoyed the parties. They had enjoyed the campus life. Yeah. But then the problem is, we usually enter campus with the wrong mindset. The parties and the girls and all these things aren't what was supposed to be focused on. But I think we're driven to that because it's what we perceive as cool. So I was driven to that because of that reason. So at every party, at every nightclub, I was there. I hosted, I think, at some upcoming bar. Yeah, so would be there collecting campus put signposts up and all that. But yeah, it was a fun time. Honestly, it was fun. But in the grand scheme of things, it's an illusion of bonding. It's an illusion of what fun is. It's an illusion of what happiness can be. And like every lie, it gives birth to another lie. With every wrong, you have to try to fix it with another wrong. But I'd fast forward to a point when I stopped going to school, I stopped going to class, and all I do is just drink. And I remember I was sharing earlier today, and we were talking about the power of prayer, the power of having someone that prays for you close by. So for me, that person was my mom. She prayed for me constantly. The days that she would call me early in the morning, and she would check on me and tell me, Dickson, what's wrong? Are you okay? Are you sick? I had this dream about you. Meanwhile, the previous night I was drunk.
Wow.
I had to get help to carry me to hostel. So the way God connects his things, and should call at the morning of, or the night when I'm drinking, and I would see that call, and because I don't want to tell people to cut the music, to stop our fun, our chidula, I would ignore the call. Yeah, she calls, and she's the person that calls very many times.
Wow.
Most times, when someone ignores 2 times, would think that no, she'll call 7 times, 9 times. Like so, but then it's just in hindsight that I see the love that she has for me. And it reached a point where she came to campus and she was looking for me. Then she comes early in the morning, like at 7. Meanwhile, we stay very far. At that point, we stayed in town, Mango side. And she was there in Mukono by 7. So she left home like about 6:30 or 6. So at 7, she calls me and tells me, Dickson, where are you? And I pick up the phone and I'm all angry. I'm like, who do you come to see at this time? Why don't you call me first?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Now, this is my mom I'm talking to, but yeah, that is the spiritual sickness that these things take us to. Yeah? So I find that in a conversation with my custodian, and they're talking about how her son is going. Yeah. How her son is gone. And I denied every detail. Yeah. I actually put the blame on the custodian. But it was all in efforts to get out of that situation. Yeah. Not to look at the bad kid, not look at as disappointment. Yeah. So yeah, I do what I need to do. I get to that situation, and then we start a journey of commuting. Then I commute from Nankulabi to Mukono every day. Now with time, I started staying in Mukono longer. I'll leave home with my bag, with books, the trousers I have on, the shirt I have on, the transport money, and money for the day. But then I would stay there for 2 weeks. So you'd ask yourself, what is Dickson eating? Why is he sleeping? What is he using to clean himself? What is he? Then one day my dad comes to Mukono. Now he's a very busy person. He could have like a site in up country. So him to make time, most parents don't, by the way. Most parents will either delegate, or they'll wait for you at the end of the semester or the term. But if one time and came, so when he came, he first started with the faculty. Now the faculty, they gave him the receipts. Your son hasn't come for lectures since the semester started. He hasn't been doing papers. His grades, zeros are just there. And he comes looking for me. Now that day there's always God aligned things that day. Because the place I was in, he didn't know I was there. Yeah. But then he had dropped me there a while back, like a couple of months back, when my friend was staying there in that very same room. But my friend finishes, graduates, and leaves. Yeah. But then there's someone I was seeing. There's a girl I was seeing was in that very room by coincidence. Yeah. And that's the room that he starts with. So when he comes looking for me, he goes to that room. So he knocks on the door, and then he opens, then he peeps, and he finds me in with cigarette butts everywhere, alcohol bottles. Then all he asks me is, Dickson, so you're now married? Then he goes away. It is now that I understand the depth of the heart he had when he saw what he saw. Him saying those few words, I imagine what I would do for my kid if I was in that position, in those shoes.
True.
Yeah, those would be slaps flying, those would be kicks flying. But that's all he said and moved away. And I tried to follow him, but I decided for safety reasons, let me stay a few meters behind. Yeah. And then I came back, and the only thing that was on my mind was, let me finish this remaining alcohol. I forget, I look for the next party, and then I totally close. Yeah. So this happened 1, 2 times, 3 times. And every single time, I can assure you, he kept surprising me the way he showed up. Yeah.
So he kept showing up at campus?
He kept showing up at campus. Because I would, when you do these substances, they're giving you something. They're giving you the happiness. They're giving you the moment of haziness where you forget what you're going through. But then also, they're taking away. They're taking away emotionally, physically, and spiritually. So the rich days when I've taken like a week without eating and my body is drained. That would be a time when I'm going back home. And going back home meant getting rejuvenated, eating well, drinking some water.
Finally.
So now, during that space of time, I'm in apology mode, apologizing and what, I make amends. Now, there are places that people, not even just addicts, yeah? People as humans, we take people who care about us, yeah? And it's because I think it's in our nature. We apologize, then we mess up again, apologize and mess up again. But it's what I did. It's what I did when I'd go back home, I apologize, I say it's not happening again, and I go back to the same thing. And until the point when I took myself to rehab. I went to Butabika Hospital. It's the only free facility in Uganda. Thankfully, we have one. So they accepted me, and then I started my treatment.
What made you go to Butabika? What is that thing that you saw and said, I can't live with this, I have to find help?
I had a friend who I used to drink with. Now we work together in recovery. Yeah, we're together with the people that we share with. He finished campus. He inspires me a lot daily. And even then, he inspired me. And one day I asked him, man, how do you do this thing? How did you stop? Because at the moment when he used to drink worse than I used to drink. But then now, I'm the one drinking more. And I asked him, how did you come out of this? And he told me he met some counselor. So the counselor, he shared the number. I talked to her. We scheduled a meeting. I talked to her. And then we set up for Butabika. I got to bed and I started my treatment. So I was there for some time until I left for my semester, which was in August. And I left that place determined and sure that now okay. I'm going to focus on my books. I'm going to focus on what matters. But then this is what we are told, and this is what the programs that were taught tell us, that recovery is a change of your spiritual. That comes from a change of places, people, and principles. And I forgot to change my people. I thought at the age of 25, I can't make new friends. So I went back to my old friends who were still drinking, who were still having that kind of life. And as sure as anything else, I went back 2 months sober. I used to see them drink and have no cravings. Yeah, most people have cravings. I had no cravings. I would have my yogurt and my Rolex, and I would be on there we used to like the Catorero bottle, the Catorero drink. So they'll be on their drink, Nilos or Torres, whatever it is. And me, I'd be on my yogurt and my Rolex. We jazz, we chat at about like 9 or something. I go back to my place. But then it was this one day I was going to play basketball. I don't know what made me it's a sip. I don't know what made me sip. And from that day, 1 month left to finish the semester, I slide back to a worse place than I was in. I don't do exam that semester. And I remember the day of my last paper. I was supposed to be in my last paper. I call my dad. No, I call someone, and then we try to organize for me to go to rehab again.
A second time. How
Second time.
How long was it from the time you were in rehab the first time?
It was 3 months now. 2 months sober, 1 month drinking.
Oh.
So yeah, I go back home and I find my mom there. And usually, these times I used to go back home, I used to time like around afternoon between 3 to when I'm sure there's no one at home. Yeah. And I go back home, but then this time she was around. And the procedure most of the time was to just sleep, which I get sleep because for the past 7 days, 14 days, I've had barely any sleep. So I found my mom there. She opens the door, then asks me, "Jason, why are you here this time? What are you? What's happening? Are you okay?" Of course, she was asking, "Are you okay?" because of how I looked. Dirty trousers, the shirt is not mine, hair is a mess, skin is pale. So I don't answer her. Then I go to the bedroom. She follows me there, sits on the bed and tells me, "Dickson, my son, yeah, what is wrong?" Then I leave her, go to another room. She follows me. I go to another room. She follows me, and I was like, you know what? Let me go back Mkono. Meanwhile, that is the sick mind, my sick mind telling me, go back to where you had no food. You have a good bed here.
You have to get food and sleep.
You have a good bed. But now you're telling you to go back. So yeah, on my way to Mukono, I thought to myself, let me just go back to Butabika. So I had some money on me. I go and reach Butabika. But in this time, when I reach there, they tell me, "Dickson, we can't admit you without an next of kin."
Wow.
Yeah.
Who you've ignored.
Who I was ignoring. True. So I call my sister, my older sister. Then she tells me, "Dickson, you call your parents." Then I call my mom. My mom tells me, "Dickson, call your dad." I call my dad. My dad tells me, "Dickson, come back home. Come back home." Well, I've tried this route. It doesn't work to come back home. And I was so sad. I was like, this guy should be happy that I'm trying to seek help. I'm trying to sort out this thing. Now, this is also another thing that happens in addiction. We feel entitled in a way, yeah? Especially when we're trying to get help. That's one thing that I thank God that I saw in myself. And I saw that I need to kill this entitlement first.
Yes.
So I go back home, but then I knew for a fact I need to sort this thing out. So I call a friend of mine who, again, is a way God aligned things. Yeah. Now, this friend of mine had his own story, has his own situation as well with drugs and substances. But his route was a bit different. It was a bit harsher. So when I called him, I called like 3 people that day. So I could have options. Like in case this person says they can't move this person. So I called my cousin, I called a friend of mine, I called another friend of mine. I was ready to go. I was so determined to go. So the next day, I get some more money and then I go to Butabika. But then as I'm going, my mom tells me, "Dickson, let me drop you." Yeah? Let me drop you because I told her, "Mommy, I need to work on this thing." And she was like, "I want to drop you, Dickson." So I like, "It's okay, no problem." I don't know if it was because she was trying to make sure I was going where I was going, or it was to drop me, but yeah. So she drops me at the gate and tells me, "Dickson, I don't think I can go any further." You know, our parents and people that we love and that love us back have a limit. Their love has a limit. Like even the grace of God, they say the grace of God has a point where it stops. Yeah. We take our parents and people that care about us to a point where they feel they've done it all. My mom tells me that, Dickson, if I enter that place, I'm going to break down. And I could see it. I understood where she was coming from. So I tell her, it's okay, mom. It's okay. Let me go and I handle this. I go there and then I wait for my friend and then we start the process. The plan was to go to a place called ADU. That's the word for addictions and drug abuse and all these things. Now this place is a bit cleaner. It has a bit more attention given to it because I think of different reasons. So that was the place I had in mind. I go there and there's no free bed that I'm used to. Yeah, in my head I'm going back to my free bed. The space available was for paying for 75k a day, 35k a day, and I think 10k a day. Money which I don't have, money which I'm sure I can't call people to give me because I'd made calls people to drink and all these things. And as I was saying, these things take away more than they give. They took away the respect people had for me, because I'm in a trench somewhere. I'm in a very bad situation. You get, and they took away the trust people had in me, because I'd call for weird amounts of money, very small money. The time a friend of mine called me, I called a friend of mine and he told me, Dickson, why do you keep calling me for small amounts of money? Up to today, I still remember those words, and there's a way it showed me the perception he has of me. But I'd reached a point where I didn't even care. I didn't care about how I'm perceived. So anyway, I called a friend of mine, and then we started the process. And they tell us at ADU that there's no space, but then it's good. It would be good if we checked out a word called Kireka Ward. Now this word is for people that have mentally disconnected from the reality, the normal. And it's a bit less, it's a bit more complicated than ADU. So I enter this place with this friend of mine, and then he tells, the first thing that we're welcomed with is that strong smell of urine. Yeah. And then we enter the place, and then now I'm thinking to myself, I think I need to call my mom. Yeah. Because you can't afford to get at least 10,000 to pay for the bed of 10k. So I call her and she tells me, Dickson, just come back home. Just come back home. Then I'm like, true. That's very true. I need to go back home because I can't handle this situation. But then the friend of mine who I was with, now, meanwhile, the short story of his, for him was taken to Chigo prison for drug use. He was there for about 8 months. And because of his history, because of his experience, he told me, Dickson, there's no way I live in this place. Handle what you need to handle. And you'll find life after this. Now, when I say God aligned what he aligned on that day, if I was my cousin, I'm sure for a fact my cousin is a softie. He would tell me, Dickson, life is not this difficult. It's not this serious. Let's go share some of these things at home. But then God put this friend of mine in my life at that time to help me out with what I need to handle. So he tells me, Dickson, change. There's that uniform they give you, the green uniform. As I'm changing it, saying this prayer, I'm telling God, have your hand over me. And I remember that's the first time I genuinely prayed to God, a genuine prayer from my heart. Most of the time I'd ask my friends, I'm at camp. Meanwhile, I grew up at church. I was going for camps. I'd love at home. Most of the experiences we hear, there's a bit of trauma, there's a bit of this, but I was someone who had a good family.
Wow.
But then I used to see people fall, people speak in tongues. My sister used to speak in tongues, but I wondered what is wrong with me. over God
not
hasn't.
falling.
Over God is not real for me or something like that. But then that day, I feel like it was the point, my turning point, because I thought from that day onwards, I felt God. He had his hand over me the entire time I was there. And I had no money, but I fed. I had breakfast every single day. Someone who I met there, someone who I didn't know, would buy me breakfast every single day. Now, breakfast was very important because, first of all, because it is the first meal of the day, and secondly, it is the time you get to eat what you choose. So, me, when I entered the place, the plan was just take my cup of porridge, wait for my portion and beans at lunch, and then wait for the same at supper. But then here's someone who's buying for me breakfast every single day. I don't ask for it. There are days when I'd feel like I'm being I'm inconveniencing him, and then I would like disappear, find some place to be. Meanwhile, I was violent, but then because in that word, if you're violent, they would lock you. They would keep you locked up. But if you are calm, would allow you to roam around the compound, have some walk, have some sun. But then this guy would buy me the breakfast and give it to someone through the window and tell him, this is Dickson's breakfast, look for him and give it to him. Someone who's ill. So if that's not good, I wonder what that is. There are times when I would have people who want to fight, because again, back to the health condition people that are inside there, they want to fight for no reason. They see you're both wearing same color green, but they think that the one you have on is theirs, and the one that they have on isn't theirs. So they want to get your green.
Your green.
They want to get your green. So a fight will start like that. And I survived so many fights. Someone would approach me. Someone that's going to fight, you can see him from afar. Especially if people are a bit sick. So he would come close with this face that I'm coming for this one particular thing. And from nowhere, someone would come and interject, and then they start fighting. Again, if that's not good, I don't know what that is. I had a bed the entire time I was there. This place is packed to capacity, over capacity. And some people sleep on the floor because the beds are few. But every single day I had a mattress, which was a blessing inside there. I had a bed, which is also a blessing. But every single day, we weren't even fighting for it, because I was ready for whatever happens. I was in a place of surrender in that place. I was in a place they call the bottom. For most people that reach the bottom, where you are at the point of acceptance. Whatever happens. You are not you're no longer privileged, you're no longer entitled, you're no longer expecting. That's the mindset I entered the place with. That's why I was ready to take my cup of porridge, my portion, my beans. And even if people at home did come in, the entire time I was there, these guys didn't visit. My parents did visit. Not because they don't love me, not because they hate me, not because they couldn't, But then it goes back to what I was saying. We take people that love us into very dark places, As we're doing these things to ourselves, we're doing something or even worse to people that love us, our parents, our siblings. I look back and I ask myself what I did to my siblings in that entire time, because they're seeing me do these things. And there are times when I used to break down because of that, like when I think about it, and I shared with someone about it, and then we talked about it, and then I feel like there's so much I'm doing now to make up for that. And they didn't visit, they didn't call. We used to have calls the first time, but there were no calls this time. So I was alone in that place with God, just me and God, And I can assure you, He's all I needed. And I saw it then. Most of the times we feel like if I don't do this, this won't work out. If I don't do this, I want to be happy. If I don't do this, those are lies we tell ourselves. Huh? Those are lies we tell ourselves, and it is important to remember that in the grand scheme of things, all you need is God. And I'm glad that I went through that enlightenment in that place. However horrible it was, yeah. And when I left that place, I remember even leaving that ward, because most people, I found people who were there in that ward, that Kireka Ward, for about 2 months, 3 months, they're waiting to be shifted to the ADU. You get now ADU look like safe haven inside there. ADUs are still wearing the green. Yes, it's still in Butabika, but then it's cleaner. You have access to different things. You can watch something on TV, you can watch the news or watch some music video. But this place, there are 2 wards. They wake you up at 6, they sleep at 5 p.m. At 5, 6, you're having supper. Then after supper, which is about at 6, you go to sleep. Because even people who work there, they're humans, yeah? They want to go back home to their normal lives. Not to people making noise, for biting themselves, for kicking, for all these things. So they want to leave that place as soon as possible. So I live in that place. Another miracle was the in charge of the ADU, who I never talked to, comes looking for Mbonye. Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm sure that my parents didn't call her. Yeah. I'm sure that my sister didn't call her, because everyone was just praying that the Dickson is okay. Yeah. Because it is the most they could do. And I'm there one evening, and then they told me, Mbonye, you're being called outside. So I first look out, and it's the in charge. So she tells me, Dickson, I already shift this space. I'm ready right now. Musao, take me now. She tells me, you wait. In the morning we shall organize paperwork, and then you shall move. I slept that day with my eyes open because I couldn't wait for morning. That place was both a lesson and an opportunity. Yeah, because I don't think with the different things that life gives you, the different pleasures and the different good things that life offers, I don't think that I would have seen what I saw, what I felt if I wasn't in that place, Both also understanding where my parents were mentally, what I took them through, and the places that the hurt I caused them. If it went for that place, I wouldn't have seen it. And I'm appreciative for that place. So I leave this place, and then I go to ADU. And then I finish my time there as well. And this is the time when I meet people who aren't ready to change. And this also offered a different light, because it showed me who I was. A bit big-headed, a bit proud. You think you know it all, It made me reach a point where I need to listen, be more attentive to what people who are older than me say, because all these people can be wrong. They're saying all the same thing, and they all can be wrong. And that's the important thing that I feel like people, our age bracket, we need to consider. We can't look at the fact that we are transitioning to these different stages of life, both biologically and mentally, and we think we know it all. It takes a different level of humbling, which is sad, by the way. It's a sad reality. It takes a different, for most cases, it takes humbling for you to realize that you need certain things, especially these things that help us, but which I appreciate. And I appreciate it took what the time it took. So I leave rehab, and then I was at a point where, again, as I was saying, I had accepted my fate. And my dad had told me previously, Dickson, I don't think you should go back to school. You shall hop around. You shall be at home, stay at home. And I understood him. Yeah. I remember the first time he told me that we're at some site, some place up country, and then he tells me, Dickson, you have other siblings, no? I don't think I can pay for your school. Can you pay for your school fees? Now, with looking at it now, I think he was trying to put something in me, in my mind to think about. But then I thought it was very serious. So I become so emotional. I'm like, how can you, you don't say I'm trying to change and all these things. But then when he told me the second time, after my second time in rehab, I had reached the point of accepting, like surrender to God, and that surrender has been they call it the cornerstone, no? In engineering, what do you call that thing? The corner brick where all other bricks start from. So yeah, that has been the cornerstone for my recovery and who I am right now. And I believe so much in that because we try so much to control the situation, no? That we lose focus. We lose the perspective of how little we control these things, and the person that controls these things, we usually leave him out. Most of the times, I used to forget to pray. I still forget to pray sometimes, but at least now I consider it more than I used to consider it, which is a very important factor, and which all started stronger that day when I was entering Butabika. So yeah, I live rehab, and I talked to a gentleman, Mr. Bernard, and he was very warm and welcoming. We talked about it. We met someone, talked about it, and then he told me, I have this place called the Rocker House. You can come and then we see what to do. Yeah. Now, me, I knew for a fact at home, there's no way that they won't give money. So I kept assuring him, I don't think that there's going to be money paid. Yeah. You're like, no, you come. I feel like you still need some time. You come and we shall figure it out. Now, me in my head, I was ready. Meanwhile, I made a plan. I'm going to go back to Chisoro. I'm going to plant Irish and onions. And that's how I'm going to survive. Because school has refused. Now, because I'd now given up on school, and I was ready for whatever comes next. So now, when I talked to Mr. Bernard and he told me, you can just come. So now in my head, my plan changed a bit. I postponed the onion and Irish. I was now named first take care of this rehab thing. So in my head, I went back from that meeting. In my head, sure that I'm going to go back for this remaining time, do my months there, then I come back and I set my Irish.
So this time you've left Butabika.
Yes. This is a few weeks.
Third time.
Yes.
You're going to a third.
No, I didn't go. I didn't go there, but I was considering it. Yeah. Then now this entire time, most people talk about the addiction part, that being addicted. They talk about the recovery, which is rehab. They don't talk about the post-addiction, where you're interacting with people you used to be with, your friends, the people you used to be with at home, people who you're with at home. These are all situations that we are in, whether we want it or not. Because, like it or not, you're going to walk the streets of Kampala, you shall meet this babe who you drank with years back, and she knows a different you, You're going to be at home, and your mom is used to you picking money from her bag, and each time she's around, she clenches her bag. Your dad is going to give you some money, and each time he tells you, you come back from whatever he sent you, he wants a list of accountability, which can stress. All these things stress a bit. But then, when you reach a point of accepting, first of all, your part you played, your role in the entire situation, and also how best you can fix it, then also that God has a bigger part to play in everything else, in changing you and changing them. It becomes much easier. So at home, I was the guy who accepts things, and it made things so much easy. The first time, actually, I wanted people to praise me because I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing this. I'm attending every class. I'm going back home every weekend because I was doing these things for them. Yeah,
not for you,
not for me. Now, when I this time round, it was a bit different. I entered this space both mentally and physically with surrender. yeah, both to God and to life. Things are different, yeah. I'm doing my semester, and then
So you're back to campus at this point?
actually I skipped that part. I'm there chilling one day. Then my dad calls me and tells me, Dickson, what's come? When did those guys start? They started in August. The humble guy is back. They started in August, and this was now September, so I missed them about a month. So he tells me, okay, I'm going to pay for your tuition. Tell me how much it is, and then you start. Out of the blue. That's the result of surrender. I didn't try to impress him. I didn't try to pressure him. It was all just out of God. Yeah.
At that point, are you still doing the drugs?
No, I'm not. This was after the second time we had.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm just at home cooking and cleaning the house. Yeah. So we start. I start my semester, and now I'm trying to catch up with the semester and all these things, and then my cousin sends me a link of some conference in Kigali. Then I'm like, man, how am I going to go for this thing? You know what? Let me just register and I see how to go for it. So I register, I get accepted. Now I start looking for funds. Transport, accommodation, feeding. Sorry, excuse me. I failed to get the money. Yeah. From where I hope to get the money. Then my last option was my sister. She always mashes me up. She tells me, Dickson, me, I'm not your bank. I'm not your bank. But that's a lie. She is. Anyway,
Have you heard Dickson's sister?
So yeah, I'm there that night of traveling, the night of the conference happening. I'm there, and then I'm so stressed. I'm like, you know what? Let me just get up on this thing. So I'm there. Then my dad comes. Now he came late. Everyone else was sleeping, so I serve him. Then someone tells me just talk to him. So I sit down and I tell him, Daddy, da 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 da. That tells me Dickson, as he's reaching for his pocket, then hands me money for both accommodation, transport, feeding, and some extra. And as he's saying the words, Dickson, you're my son. Yeah. There's nothing I can afford to do for you. Yeah. Now, we've had stories of the prodigal son and all. Yeah, that's my prodigal son moment. Now this is the first time I'm leaving the country as well. And I didn't expect that, yeah. From someone who they didn't want to stay in Mukono to now being allowed to leave the country. That was crazy. But yeah, so the next day I travel. I do the conference and I come back. Yeah. From that time and until now, school is fair. Yeah. School is fair. Family is amazing. Recently, a couple of months back, some wedding, my dad called me and tells me, Dickson, I'm proud of you.
Oh.
Yeah. And it was out of the blue. You know? I think it was the suit I was wearing because it's been years I had the suit on. So sometime since I had the suit on, over 10 years since I bought a suit. I remember buying that suit, and I was thinking to myself, it has really taken all this time to buy a suit. So anyway, so he calls me and tells me, Dickson, I'm so proud of you. Yeah, that moment made my year. You know, that moment still makes my year. Think about where we have been. Think about the places I took him. Coming to Mukono every single day. I remember the last time he came to Mukono, his voice, you could feel the tears in his voice. You could feel the tears in his voice when he was saying what he was saying. You know? And I remember even me that time, I didn't have the anger I used to have. Yeah. You know, we go into these things, but which is a point which is definite. Yeah. Which is a point where you are tired of these things. They're taking you and you're seeing them taking you. And I think I reached that point because I just bought liquor and cigarettes. I was happy. Yeah. I reached the place I was going to and was preparing my avenue, my venue. Until The lady who I do don money from, she calls me back and tells me, "By Dickson, there's an issue with the first come back and we sort it." And this is my friend. I know this person. So I go back. The way I am, barefoot, shirtless, sweating. And I'd taken a few shots. I go back, and she tells me, "No, you come around the side." So again, because this is someone I know, someone who I've been buying from, I just go back. Now, the moment I reach behind there, the first face I see is my dad sit on the stool.
Oh.
And then I break down and I go to him and I kneel down. Previously it was, "Daddy, why are you here? Daddy, what is this?" I was just in a state of anger and pride and all these things. So I was remembering where I took him, and for him to say that, "Dickson, I'm proud of you," was amazing. He has it. This thing has brought us so close, so close. The point that we talk about things that I never thought we'd talk about. Recently, he was telling me, "Dickson," I was asking about relationships. Then I was saying, "Dickson, by the way, in case you ever want to take someone out, you call me. Call me and we'll see what to do about it." That's something I didn't expect my dad to do. Yeah? We used to talk for like 40 seconds, 30 seconds. "Dad, hello? Are you okay?" "Yeah, I'm okay. How is there? I need money." "Okay." Done. These days we chat. He calls me, I call him, "How is there? What is disturbing you? What is that?" By that, this school thing, this family thing, this investment thing. And we talk about things that I'm so happy for where we are right now. The point that I'm grateful for my experience.
Wow.
It has made me a different person, different man. And I'm lucky to like that I understand things in a different perspective. That when I meet it with my own kids, if God wills it, I'll be able to approach it with a kind of intention and delicateness it deserves.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
That is a beautiful story. We bless the Lord for supportive parents and parents who are in their children's lives. You've heard Dickson's mom used to pray for him. Dickson's parents were present in his life. So for him doing what he was doing is not a result of the parents being away. He was from a functional home which was functioning, and we bless the Lord. Such a beautiful story. All things work together for good, and we bless the Lord that he took Dickson out of it, and he's now doing very well with himself. Dickson, tell us what you're doing with yourself right now, briefly.
Yes, I'm studying. I'm still studying. A bachelor's in civil and environmental engineering at UCU. I also started an organization called Fortress Within.
Yes.
We started in September. Yeah. It started in a very interesting way because everything was happening as we were just thinking about it. We think about this, it happens. We think about that. That's why I believe in the presence of God in it. Because it started with we started having AA meetings. AA is Alcoholic Anonymous in campus. Now, these meetings are for people who have an issue with substances. Usually when someone has this problem, we try to take them out of that environment. They meet people who are like them, who have gone through or are going through these issues. And we just talk about life. We talk about life, talk about situations, talk about how to handle cravings, talk about how to handle relationships and activities, all these things. So we said this, but then the turn-up was very low. There was so much stigma. People didn't understand what it meant to be in that space. They didn't understand that there was someone else like them. Then also the fear of being looked down upon. So we thought with the administration, we talked to them, and then they were willing to have us support us, and we have that event which you call the Fortress Within. Now, Fortress Within came from a place where we understood that help comes from within us. from the place, the identity that we have in ourselves, which is the identity of God. Yeah. It comes the fortress, the help and the strength that we need comes from within us. So yeah, that's where the fortress within came from. We had that event that was based on mental health, addictions, recovery, and stigma. And we talked about all these issues. And again, it was from the working of God, because people that we had there were just people that I didn't think would be there. From Mr. Bernard, who's very busy. He has this going on, that going on. I just called him. I told him, I have this happening. Could you be available? He told me, Dickson, no problem. I called Madame Pamela. I called Sheila. I called Wanda JR. All these people that have very busy schedules, but were willing to come and participate and do what they can. And I'm so happy that these spaces are available, because, the other side is so loud. The other side that glorifies the smoking. There's no movie these days I watch that has no smoking. But the places that have all these things glorified is so loud. So I hope and I wish that the spaces that are available for glorifying for what actually matters are also amplified. So yeah, that's mostly what I do. And I am into a bit of farming as well. I have a farm, so I try to be available as much as I can and try to learn this and that. So yeah, that's basically it.
Thank you. Wow, that's a beautiful story. So moving on to Aaron, what are some of the things, ways in which you feel that the people around us aid our healing process when it comes to healing from these substances?
Well, that is a tricky question, because I feel I didn't have much of that, and I feel that most people have the intention to help, but they just don't know how to help. Family being there would be a strong suit in this. Love and support. In that mistakes happen, you forgive, we carry on as a family, and let's journey forward. The ability to have parents that can look beyond what you have done, look beyond the mistakes, because it is family that is the foundation of everything. So if you have a family that can support, a family that loves, having an addict is not easy. But also pushing them away makes it much worse. It makes them start to hate and they start to repel. So I would encourage families to stick by these people, because they need the love to heal. And for me, it is my mom that stuck. Not everybody will stay in your addiction story. Let me tell you the truth. It is ugly. Not everybody will stay. But there are those who will stay. Let them help you, allow them love you, and then move forward.
Wow. So I'm seeing a lot of patterns in regards to help, that the people around us, they really help us with aiding our healing process. So just one quick question for you, Aaron, as because you also have quite a similar story with Dickson, and you guys have walked the journey together. So what goes on in your mind? Because most times even we say that when you begin to use substances, your thought pattern changes. You don't see the world like everyone else does. So what's going on in your mind as you're using these substances? What's going on in your mind? How are you viewing the people around you? How do you view it? Because most of the people around you are like, but we are trying. We are really trying to help this person. We are really trying to talk to this person, but this person is not changing. So what's in your mind as all this is going on?
Well, the mind of an addict is a fascinating thing. And for every stage of addiction, the mindset keeps shifting. Okay? From the beginning parts of it, it's always like, I want to try this, curiosity, this. But what I've seen a lot is there is a victim kind of mentality And also there's a little bit of selfishness we have as addicts. You feel like I am the one who has been hurt the most. Yes, we have our own pains, but we feel like we blame everybody for everything, and there is a lack of accountability. Okay, but the mind of addict is a mind that, but not in the mind, because addiction is a heart issue. So you have to connect the mind and the heart of an addict. But what goes to the mind of addict is, I'm in pain. I don't know how to get out. How do I get out? I'm stuck in a circle. I'm stuck in a pattern. Apostle Paul says, the things that I want to do, I do not do. The things that I do not want to do are the things that I do. That's the mind of an addict, in summary. Who shall deliver me from this body of sin? That's the mind of addict. I don't want to be here, but I don't know how to get out of here. Yes. And for every addict, you can't help an addict until they say, I need help. Yeah. Otherwise, you're wasting time. Until they say, you know what, I'm tired, you'll be wasting your time.
Okay. Wow. That's pretty much it gives an insight at least of this whole situation. So that's very interesting. So what give us each one of you, like a one word or phrase that you have for someone out there who is stuck in this situation. They are really trying. They are in the situation they're at the point where you guys were, and you were like, I really need to change. But they are wondering, is this possible? Can I really live my life without using these substances? Can I really survive without bonding with these people? Yeah, how is my life going to be like? I remember I share this short funny thing whereby I was like, I didn't want to stop listening to, when I got saved, I didn't want to stop listening to secular music, because I was like, what will they play on my wedding? At that time, I was like, let's see, 15, 16, and 15, 16, I'm thinking about what will they play at my wedding if I stop listening to secular music. That means the wedding will be boring. So but it was just about, I just had to explore that they're actually good, cool
Gospel
musicians who are out there, and they have real cool bangers. So what do you have for that person out there who is scared? They want to take that step, but they're still hesitant to take that step of faith and be like, yes, I can actually do this. Yeah.
First of all, if you're still hesitant, I don't think you've decided, because you need to decide that I really need to get out of this. Knowing that I'm not doing this for anybody, I'm doing this for me. When it comes to addiction, people say, oh, I'm doing this for my parents, I'm doing this for my friends. No. Coming out of an addiction, you do it for yourself. And I'll say this, it is not easy. That's why you say, if you've never tried, don't start. Coming out is not easy. Let me borrow a quote from the AA book that you will know peace that you've never seen before. You will look back and you will laugh. You will receive a kind of joy you thought you would never experience. Because in that place, it is a cycle of constant sadness, constant negative thoughts, constant doubt, constant worry. But there's light at the end of the tunnel. Keep fighting. Look for where there is hope. Look for where there is help. And it needs you to take ownership of certain things and be able to forgive yourself above all else. Learn to build confidence in your own identity, in your own plans and your own purpose. Because what has held me going forward is not even any other thing but purpose. Like, I have purpose, I'm giving back. God is using me, I'm doing this. Purpose has kept me going. So find your purpose, forgive yourself. And then there are people that I would advise, if you're healing, leave them. Okay? We know we're living in a different society now. You can wish me well, but then the way you do it pushes me back. As I love Dickson's story that his parents are like, Dickson, how are you? Like, there's a way you help somebody in addiction. But there are people who are a harm in your journey of addiction also. as well. So have your boundaries. Know that people are going to speak about your journey. People know you smoke. People know you drink. Words will be mentioned. Okay? Have people who won't hang it over your head every day. Have people who will say, you know what, that's in the past. Don't have people who constantly say, you're a sinner. No, that's not how it works. Have healthy people, healthy relationships, and healthy boundaries. Yes.
Wow. So for Dickson, I know this doesn't apply, it didn't apply to you in your story, but in regards to what he has talked about, what about for somebody who is living with their parents and their teenagers? And you know, this thing, it's you don't also blame the other people the way they react, because you've put them through so much. They're also traumatized. Yeah, you've put them through so much trauma that they are also always paranoid about your steps. You know, there's a patient one time who was like, most times when I go back home and I'm not even drunk, but because my mom is used to me coming back staggering, or I've put in something every evening, she's like, you do. For me to make sure that there is nothing, yeah, and this could be a trigger. So what do you have for that kind of person, whereby it's not like they are grown, and as we've told you, these people are paranoid. You're not going to say, oh, let me go and stay at Uncle Gund. Even Uncle Gund is like, Bambi, I've really tried to help you, but even me, I've reached my limits. Yeah, or they also have children and they're like, I really didn't want these kind of things to come into my home and stuff like that, you know? And to a particular point, you don't want to blame it on them. So what do you have for that teenager who is in a home, they're trying to heal, but their parents or the environment is not supportive? It's not supportive, and they have nothing to do about it because they are still underage and they have to go back to that home. Yeah.
I would answer that question with almost adding to what Aaron said to the previous question you asked him, where you asked how an addict's mind is. Yeah, most of the time, addicts are not trying to find solutions, which is normal. But then, when you try to over control a situation, yeah, then that's when it becomes bad. When I was sharing, I mentioned how I reached a point of acceptance instead of expectance, and it helps a lot take off the work off you and what you need to do to impress, to show them that you're on the right path, and also knowing that there's damage that you did, yeah. Also knowing that there's harm that you caused to family, friends, to yourself, and it enables you understand where they're coming from. Yeah, when she comes and says she wants to smell your breath, you know that if you use not to drink, you shouldn't smell your breath. Yeah, but understanding that, yeah, and being humble enough to just take because trust me, time will come when she doesn't smell your breath anymore. Yeah, time will come when they don't ask for testing to be done. Yeah, time will come when the results speak for themselves. Yeah, when you're looking good, when you're performing, whether school or work or life, basically, they'll speak louder and they'll speak before you speak. So I feel like, first of all, it's patience. Patience is a very big thing. Acceptance of our role in how events stand out, and also God. Yeah, prayer again, I keep saying, is a very important thing because it we are at battle with Aaron, Pastor. We're at war with not with flesh, but with principalities. Yeah, I'm not trying to fix my mom. I'm not trying to fix my dad or my auntie with such dance stop. It's these principles that we are at war with, and yeah, like God is the last bit, but the biggest bit that I can say. Yeah.
Wow, you've heard for yourself. So recovery is possible. These are real stories, real young men who have overcome these things, and they are successful, and they're living purposeful lives. So find purpose, find God, or the story starts and ends with God. So if you've not found God, find God, and while there, find your purpose and work on it. So we never like to close our podcast without asking you to ask Jesus into your life, or asking Jesus to help you in this journey. So we're going to say a prayer, and you're going to repeat after me. Say, "Dear Lord, may you help me, because I believe that it's only you who can help me in this situation. And in case you have not started, just tell God, thank you, Lord, for keeping me, and help me stay away from the things that can take me away from your presence. In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen.
Amen.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We love you all.